I tell people your life is a recipe of the decisions you make. Literally, you're putting the same ingredients every year and getting the same result. And people make bad decisions and then they don't understand why they're not getting good results. And I feel like as a business owner, you have to get used to making decisions where most people just don't. So even for people who are now sitting around going, you know what? Like, I understand that there's decisions that have to be made. You were talking about making decisions with incomplete information. And I think before we go into even how to make a good or a bad decision, most people don't even know how to make a decision. And I tell them, you got to practice on the small stuff to get good at the big stuff. So for somebody listening now, if you want to be a high-end real estate investor, a high performer, a top athlete, a jiu-jitsu guy, a fighter, you have to know how to take the shot when you have it. And if you freeze, you're not throwing any punches, you're never going to swing, and you're never going to get the win. So how do high performers get better at making decisions in the first place when maybe you don't have all the information like you mentioned earlier?
Well, one of the reasons why people who have more experience tend to make better decisions, number one, they have more things to look back on. They have more patterns that they can identify. But the other thing is that they're not freaking out about as much stuff. Here's what happens. Let me grab a brain quick. So if we take a look at our brain, we've got the front of our brain, and that's where our logic centers are. That's where our executive control is. It's where we're able to assess and analyze risk logically and rationally based on facts. Then we've got the amygdala in the brainstem. And the amygdala is sort of it's the survival center of the brain. When it takes control, it hijacks blood, oxygen and glucose from the front of the brain. And we're no longer able to make rational choices. Our ability to assess risk tanks, accurately assess risk. Everything's going to get exaggerated when the amygdala is in control. We tend to freak out more. We get paralyzed more often because we cannot think our way through something when the amygdala is in control. And so one of the things that I do, regardless of the application, tactical sports, entrepreneurship, is help people turn off the panicky part of the brain and turn on the logical part of the brain. And once that happens, now all of a sudden you can have incomplete information. You can identify patterns accurately. You can assess risk accurately, and you can make decisions without knowing 100% of the information.